Hello and welcome to my channel. We do women empowerment, define the odds. Today I have a special guest with me, Jomara, and I'm really excited. This lady is quite a busy lady and it was very difficult for us to coordinate her times, but I'm really happy that she's here today. And Jomara is from an island in the Caribbean, an island off Grenada called Carriacou, and she's a track star and she's going to tell us a little more of herself. I just want to put it out there because I did say that when I spoke to your teammate Avanella, that my mom's from Carriacou. I visited Carriacou a few times, really love it. So we're gonna go right into it. So tell us a little about yourself, Jomara.
Hi, so my name is Jomara Alves. I'm 17 years old and I'm from the island of Carriacou. Well, I'm here to talk about my journey, getting a scholarship and being where I am today in Jamaica. First of all, I decided to stop sporting events. I personally do shot put and discuss. And
Wow.
I thought that it didn't really make sense because knowing Carriacou is a very small island
Mm-hmm.
and there's not much opportunities out there. So I decided to give up my sporting career. But unfortunately, Mr. McIntosh, my coach at Carriacou, he had come to me and motivated me, tell me
Mm-hmm.
that I'm good at the sport and I shall keep doing the sports, because the potential. And
Mm-hmm.
along with my parents out there motivating and encouraging me also, I decided to step back into my sporting field and was able to become successful. I was one of the athletes chosen from Carriacou to come to Jamaica
Wow.
in St. Diego High School to represent my country, my family, and myself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the arrival to Jamaica was very long and exhausting, but however, I overcome it all.
Mm-hmm.
Coming into San Diego, we had a lot. We had also able to be balanced in school and athletics, knowing that you have to be prepared for CAPE. But
Mm-hmm.
once you're mentally and physically prepared, I, well, to me, I know I could have overcome it, and I did.
Mm-hmm.
I also took part in Champs 2021 J3A and was able to win a gold medal in shot put with a personal best of
Okay,
4.
so wait, I'll stop you because that's a lot you told us. So we'll back up a little. Ooh, I'm so excited. There's so much information you gave us there. So you talked about first your shot put and a discus thrower. So you must be a very skilled, strong girl. Tell us a little about, because shot put and discus is not a common thing for women, in the Caribbean, Grenada and small islands like Carriacou and Grenada. So tell us a little bit of that. What got you into shot put? Did you get up one day and realize you're skilled and you're strong and you can throw, or you go practicing, or you always knew?
Well, first of all, I started off in primary school, Hillsborough Government School, knowing I was a person that was always motivated and believed in myself that anything I want to do, I believe that I can do
Mm-hmm.
it. So I started off playing netball, running and throwing, and being selected to represent my primary school in Grenada. I realized that shot and discus was actually meant for me. I believe I was born with that because I never had access to gyms and etc. And
Mm-hmm.
I went to Grenada at TV and also won a silver medal. And
Wow.
after that, I just picked up the shot put and
Wow.
discuss and netball as track events.
So you're an all-rounder kind of athlete. So I did shot put and I did discus too in high school. So when I hear you talk about it, I get really excited. And I did play some netball, but I was more into track. So I did field events and the track, and the 200 was my thing. But so you went to Grenada, you won a silver medal. That's really, really good. I mean, coming from Carriacou and not having at that point though, actually, before I say what I want, did you have a coach when you got your silver medal in Grenada? Did you have a coach or you were just in high school throwing?
Well, I was just in primary school. Never, never had access to gym, as I said. Never had no technique. All I knew was picking up the ball and felt as far as I can.
So I can tell you had some skills. So we're gonna fast. You talked about Mr. McIntosh. So tell us a little bit about him, about the program he runs in Carriacou.
Okay. Well, Mr. McIntosh is a very fine coach to me. he wasn't really coaching me, but he motivated me into the coaching. He was the manager and he had other assistants helping the young stars like myself to become a better person in
Mhm.
life.
Okay, so we want to shout out Mr. McIntosh, and he gave provided you guys information. So I want to thank him for that too, because this program was new to me to getting students to go to Jamaica. So we're gonna just talk about you moving. And actually, before I ask you about moving, so did you apply? You said you got selected, so you weren't one of the students that had to try out. I guess you were so good that they're like, we want this student to go to Jamaica. Is that kind of how it worked? And what happened when you got that call that day?
Well, when I got that call that day, I was happy, wasn't extremely surprised because my coach, Mr. McIntosh, has always said that whatever you believe, we can achieve. So
Mhm.
training hard, being motivated, both mentally, spiritually, and physically, I knew that I would have become that successful person one day.
Wow. Okay, that's impressive. Good to you. I like your positive attitude. You know, you knew because you were doing what you were supposed to do that one day you were going to become that star. So you weren't shocked when you got the call. How did your
Yeah.
parents feel though? Did they know before you? Did they already have an idea that you were going to?
Well, my parents was very shocked, of course, and it was tough for them knowing that I'm the only daughter in the family. So
Mhm.
it was a very tough decision for us both. But at the end of the day, it was worth it because I did make them smile and be happy.
Well, you're making me smile too, and you're making Grenada and Carriacou and Peter Martinique smile. And I can imagine your Hillborough, your friends from school, they're all smiling when they see you on because I saw you on Facebook and I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, so I was like, wow, represent Grenada and Carriacou, and yourself. So way to go. Tell me about your journey though. So you came from, Carriacou's a small island and smaller than Jamaica, so it's Grenada and you moving into a place that's size wise bigger, population bigger, culture is different. I'm assuming for the most part, accents are different. How was adjusting to that for you?
Well, first of all, living into Carriacou and going into Grenada wasn't a bad journey because we're both connected to each other.
Mm-hmm.
On my way to Jamaica, reaching into my destination, it was funny a bit because the accents were different, of course. I hardly
Yes.
could have understand.
Yes.
And coming into my new home, it was it was okay, but you have to adapt to new things, and of course, adaptation takes a little while.
Mm-hmm.
But I was able to overcome everything, adapt to the accent also,
Mm-hmm.
and be and fitting. It was okay.
Okay, so and I like the fact. So I guess you have to be adaptable in your situation. So for my young viewers out there, and for everyone, all the ladies and my male viewers, it's okay. Things are going to be different sometimes when you enter a new situation, but you can adapt. You just have to program yourself that it's okay to adapt to new situations. So tell me about school life because you're managing, because you're busy. I've been trying to track you down forever. How are you
Yeah.
managing school, career? Because track, the shop food and the this, because that's your career. School is you have to do that. Education is very important. So how are you managing both?
Well, as we say, once you leave your country, you should always have a plan ahead of you. So if you leave your country, mentally speaking, that you're coming out here, you have to be able to manage your time wisely. You have to be able to get good grades and also good performances. And of course, there will be challenges that will come your way, but the best tool or the best way you can solve that problem is just praying. Um, Coming out here again, as must say, I was already mentally and physically prepared for this. So
Mhm.
when I come here, train in the morning, come home, take up my book, study. I have training again for 3 o'clock the evening. When I come home 6 o'clock, have to
Wow.
shower, relax for 5 minutes, pick up the book and also study for it. It's extremely exhausting as young stars, but as must say again, just have to be mentally and physically prepared. Everything that happens always happens for a reason. And
Mhm.
one day you one day will get the chance to look back and realize, wow, I can't believe that I made this type of decision and I was able to complete it after all.
And as a young person, because you're still a teenager, you're not an adult yet, that you made those decisions and you're moving to a strange place by yourself, well, with, teammates and stuff, but you left your parents behind and you were the only daughter. So I can only imagine how tough those decisions are. But I'm glad that you have that, that assertiveness about you and that positive kind of demeanor. And I can see, that you're able to do these things. So I know you told me that you were in a competition recently. How was that? A few
That
years ago. Mhm.
competition was extremely well, and I'm grateful for it because when I stepped out into the field, I was a little bit nervous. I was not afraid, but a little bit nervous because it was my first big competition out here.
Oh, wow.
But all those, all those feelings and nervous and belly aches, I just put it up aside of me and said that I've come out here to make myself and family proud. I should
Hmm.
not be nervous of everything because I got this and I
Mhm.
prayed and I was able to become successful in those events.
So can we ask how successful were you?
All right. I was able to, and the shot put, I came first showing a personal best of 14.93.
Wow,
Um,
congrats.
Thank you. However, I got injured at the end, but
Oh.
injury did not really put me down because I
Mhm.
know I had other event to take part in.
Mhm.
So I had to go home, ice and everything. However, I came back the second day to throw javelin, but unfortunately my hand gave up on me. So never
Oh.
really get to give my personal best and through the distance that I was aiming for, but I finished the competition third during a distance of 35.69.
Wow. So, okay, listen, girl, I love your perseverance because even through the injury, because you, as you said, you have a goal, right? So, you can't go home and cry. You got to ice it up, and tomorrow you got to go and try to throw your best again. So, congrats on that. Congrats on your gold and your bronze medal or place in there. So, I'm positive that you made everybody proud. And for all you, my Grenadian viewers who doesn't know this girl, Jomara, you got to check her out on Facebook. She's a star of Vanilla too. You girls are doing really good. So congrats. Um, how did your parents feel when you told them?
Well, my mom was extremely proud, and my auntie, also my grandmother, my whole family was extremely proud of me.
Mhm.
Although we could have get to meet physically to enjoy and celebrate,
Mhm.
but over the phone, long distance, it was still okay, and
It
they
was
was
still
happy, and I was also happy.
perfect. Yeah, I've seen those comments on Facebook. They're very proud. I said that must be from her mom. It's like, oh, go my Jamora. I'm like, okay, that sounds like mom. So, so congrats once again. So I'm gonna ask you before we tell me a little bit about because the goal though, what's your goal? Are you is the goal to be somewhere else in the US or to compete in Olympics to represent? What's your end goal for this?
Well, my goal from sports is after completing my 2 to 3 year scholarship out here to get another scholarship to go to college
Mhm.
and hopefully one day compete at the Olympics. Well, be a gold Olympian. And also, since I want the career of physical therapist, I chose this career also because it's related to sports and knowing
Mhm.
how much sports have done, what sports have done to my life. I do not want to give up sports, so I also fit in a career of physical therapist.
That's good. So one day when I come to Carriacou or wherever you are, I can come get some therapy from you, whether you want to be a
Sure.
physiotherapist or whatever, get my oldish joints and muscles going. But so do you have scouts? I guess scouts and stuff come to check you guys out in that. Okay.
Yes.
And why that school specifically though? Is that a school that's affiliated with places in the US and stuff, or it's just a school that's really good at like why that school specifically in Jamaica?
Well, also, actually, the school out here, they asked for me to come. That was one of the school.
Oh.
I also was inspired by the school because they have good coaches, and one of the coaches here, Mr. Marlon Gill, he's one of the best coaches out here. So
Mm.
all this, hearing all these good things, I realized that myself was definitely made for St. Diego High School.
Oh well, shout out to that high school too. Is it St. Jacobs?
St. Diego High School.
Jago? Okay, so
Yeah.
shout out to San Diego High School. So Jomara, honestly, thank you so much. One day I hope to see you on the Olympic stage and I'll be like, I interviewed her. Don't forget to come back here and give us another interview in a big studio. Just joking, but who knows? Wherever I am, find me. I'll find you. I'm looking forward to see you girls. I'm looking forward to see you on the track. We're holding up in the next Olympics or the next few Olympics, holding up the Grenadian flag. I'm sure I'll see in the audience. I'll see your parents shouting with a Grenadian flag. So we'll know it's them. Um, Anything else that you want to say though? And I like you're very positive. You know, you were expected certain things, you believed in certain things, you followed through and you executed. Anyone you want to shout out, any advice you want to give your friends back home, or just anybody out there who just wants to do something and can't be motivated or afraid to travel and those sort of stuff?
Well, I would like to dedicate a message to the youngsters out there who are not being motivated by parents or families because of certain reasons and circumstances. Some may not have families to support them, but
Mm-hmm.
just want to say when you set one goal, you should be able to work hard and reach that goal. You should not study people because say they'll have people that will
Mm-hmm.
motivate you in your face and they'll fight you down behind your back. Forget friends, forget everybody, and just do what you have to do to achieve everything that you want to do.
Okay, I like that. And yes, sometimes you do have to forget friends. And I know you left a lot of friends back home, but sometimes you have to put them on the side for a little bit to achieve your goal. And though you may miss them and you're gonna cry sometimes, but you gotta stay focused. And you strike me like that kind of girl who's focused. So thank you very much. Shouted to your parents, shouted to Carriacou and Hillsborough and your primary school, and Mr. McIntosh, and to all your coaches. Thank you very much. Honestly, good luck. I love the t-shirt and
Thank you.
I like the colors. I like the headband. So stay doing what you do. And when you're successful, because you're already successful, when you become more successful, don't ever forget to bring somebody with you, right? Go back and get your friends in high school and get them into track and motivate them. Okay.
No problem.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
well,
And guys, once again, I want to thank Jomara. As I said, this lady's hard to find. Like she's always training. Literally every evening I have to message. She's training, or on the weekend she's in a competition. So I know you're really, really busy and you have to balance school. And I'm trying to say, could you wake up early and do it with me in the morning? But I'm thinking, oh my gosh, she has classes, right? So, so I think about all that. But I really appreciate you coming and
well,
doing it with me. And shout out to Vanilla. And once again, ladies and gents, and all my audience, remember to subscribe, remember to like, remember to pass it on to a friend. And we'll look forward to seeing you and Avanella and all your the teammates somewhere on the big stage one day. And good luck.
yes, thank you.
Thank
Goodbye.
you. Thank you.